Hey guys, welcome to Neat Movie News. My name is Dean Thomas, and it is September, which means we are inching closer and closer to what many refer to as Oscar season, where we're going to start seeing some movies that are really going for the award. And we've got one that maybe has a chance, and that would be The Light Between Oceans.
Dearest Isabel, I can't stop thinking about the time I spent with you.
Dearest Tom, when I first saw you, I felt like I knew you, and I couldn't stop seeing my life with you.
Now, this movie is it's based on a book, and it's directed by Derek Cianfrance, who directed movies like Blue Valentine and Place Beyond the Pines, which are two movies I really, really like, because this guy really understands kind of like relationships and how humans work and how they interact with each other. So seeing these trailers, I was immediately in because of him, and it's also because it's starring Michael Fassbender and Alicia Vikander, my two favorite working actors right now. They are both incredible, and that's one of the things this movie was really, really strong in. It's its performances from these two characters, especially, who are in this movie a married couple. Because the basic story is you've got Tom, played by Michael Fassbender, who's returning from World War One and just wants to get away. He's seen a lot of stuff and just wants to get away, so he goes to be a lighthouse keeper so he can just get away from the world. The family that kind of runs the lighthouse, their daughter happens to be Isabel, played by Alicia Vikander. The two, they fall in love, and then they go to live on the island together. And from there, they try to have kids, and then tragedy ensues, and that's kind of where this story takes place. Because suddenly, just after their second baby is lost, a mysterious boat washes up on shore.
Can't just be a coincidence that she showed up.
She's a lovely baby, but you can't keep her.
She needs us. We're not doing anything wrong.
And now this is where the main plot of the movie gets going, because this is where then you see them wrestling with the idea: do we keep this baby? Do we want to give it away? And you really do understand both characters' perspectives of Tom and Isabel, because well, some movies you can make it a very clear one-sided thing. Well, this character's in the right and this character is just acting on pure emotion, or they're doing this and they're really in the wrong. Where in this movie, the whole movie you're kind of back and forth with, I agree with him, but I also agree with her, or I see both points of view, and that's what I really liked about this movie. And it also, to me, I really related to Tom as a character. One, because he follows the rules, he wants to do the right thing, he loves his wife, and I also related to him because like myself, I'm not really a huge talker, and that's him. He's a good guy, but he's not going to say a lot. He's just going to go about doing his thing in the same way. So I really related to him. But the one thing that really stands out in this movie is just how beautiful it is. The cinematography is incredible. Every single shot is just a sweeping, beautiful thing. The way they portray the island, the lighthouse, which you also have a big respect for, because growing up in Michigan, you see a lot of lighthouses. You can go tour a lot of lighthouses, which I've been to. So it kind of brought back some old memories as a kid going to tour these places and seeing these lighthouses. So that's something I really appreciated. Now, to me, where the movie got a little, I guess really the main thing is it got long. Because as the movie kept going, you would see certain things resolved, and then it would keep going. Okay, maybe we're getting close to a resolution. And then it would keep going. And then it would keep going. And that's where it started to drag, because this movie is definitely not for everyone, because it is a very slow-paced drama. It's a slow-paced drama, and that's exactly what it is. And I can see where it loses a lot of people, and it just started to lose me a little bit at the end because it's so slow, and it didn't really build into anything too much. It just kind of kept going and going and going. Lost me a little bit, and this movie definitely isn't for everyone because, for example, out of about the 7 or 8 people in the theater I was in, I was the one guy, and the rest were a bunch of women varying in ages. There was like a teenager in there, and then some older women as well. And that was the other thing about this movie. It didn't hit me emotionally as hard as I wanted to. I mean, there's some very sad moments, and you kind of start to tear up and then go away. But when the movie's over and I was looking around, just about every single one of the women in the audience had their tissues out and were wiping their eyes. So it definitely affected them. And maybe that's because I'm a man, or maybe because I'm not a parent, and I'm not a father, I'm not a husband. So maybe that played into it as well. But overall, I really did like this movie, and it was one of my most anticipated September. So it did deliver to an extent. As far as Oscars go, The performances were definitely there. The performances are really, really strong. I'm not sure they're anything to warrant an Oscar. I don't think this movie, maybe cinematography wise, it could earn something because this movie really is incredible just to look at. But really, I think it's where it could have gone Nicholas Sparks, kind of this romantic love story that's really cliche. It managed to pull away from that, and I think that's due to the director because he really does understand human relationships and how to make it feel real. So that's what I really did appreciate of this movie. So when I score this movie, I'm going to give it a solid 75%. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I was really into the story. I connected with certain characters. The story is really moving and it's there, and you really are wrestling with what would you do in that situation. Like I said, it ran a little long. There's also a couple cliche characters here and there, some ignorant characters that kind of just got under my nerves. Like maybe there wasn't a ton of time to spend with them, or they didn't care that much about when writing the character, so they fell a little flat to me. But overall, I really like this movie. I think it's a solid movie. Probably not Oscar worthy quite yet, but it's nice to get away from the big summer blockbusters, the big action spectacles, and get into movies like this because Oscar season is always still a really fun time to go to the movies. So there you guys have it. That's my review of The Light Between Oceans. I would definitely recommend going to check this out, especially if this is your kind of movie. Like I said, it's definitely not for everybody. But if this is something that interests you, go and see it. Like I said, I was the only guy. If that's you, go for it. Still go and see it. So you guys have it. That's my review for The Light Between Oceans. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at Neat Movie News for all the latest in the world of movies. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you back here next time.